Most people don't fail on YouTube because they are bad creators. They fail because they don't understand how the human brain works, especially their own. When someone starts a YouTube channel, the motivation is usually very high. The idea feels exciting. The future looks promising. The brain releases dopamine, the same chemical responsible for excitement, hope, and anticipation. In psychology, this is called anticipatory reward. Your brain imagines success before it happens. You picture views, comments, subscribers, recognition, and that imagined future feels real to your nervous system. That's why starting feels easy. But YouTube is not designed to reward imagination. It rewards behavior over time. After uploading the first few videos, reality hits. Views are low, subscribers don't move, comments are rare. The excitement slowly fades. This is the exact moment where 99% of channels die, not because of the algorithm, but because of a psychological mismatch between expectation and feedback. The human brain is a prediction machine. It constantly predicts outcomes and adjusts behavior based on results. When effort does not produce immediate, visible reward, the brain interprets it as danger or waste. That's why low views feel painful, even when no one explicitly criticizes you. Silence itself feels like rejection. Psychologically, the brain processes social silence almost the same way it processes social exclusion. That's why creators start questioning themselves. Is my content bad? Am I wasting time? Maybe YouTube isn't for me. This is not logic speaking. This is the threat system of the brain activating. Humans evolved to survive in tribes. Visibility meant safety. Being ignored meant risk. So when a creator uploads a video and no one watches, the brain reads it as, "You are not valued here." That emotional discomfort pushes most people to quit, even when they have potential. Another major reason channels don't grow is reward inconsistency. The brain loves predictable rewards. When actions lead to clear outcomes, habits form easily. But YouTube growth is irregular. One video may perform better, the next one may completely flop. This unpredictability confuses the brain. In psychology, inconsistent rewards create anxiety, not motivation. That's why people struggle to stay consistent. They're not lazy, their nervous system is overwhelmed. Creators often think motivation will save them, but motivation is emotion-based, and emotions are unstable. Growth requires something stronger, identity. Successful creators don't ask, will this video perform? They ask, is this aligned with who I am becoming? Most channels fail because creators attach their self-worth to performance metrics. Views become validation. Subscribers become self-esteem. When numbers drop, confidence collapses. This creates an unhealthy feedback loop, where creators start chasing what they think the algorithm wants instead of what the audience actually needs. From a psychological perspective, this is called external validation dependency, and it is one of the fastest ways to burn out. Another hidden reason is cognitive overload. New creators try to learn everything at once: thumbnails, editing, SEO, retention, hooks, trends, posting time, analytics. The brain gets overloaded with information without mastery. This creates decision fatigue, which leads to avoidance. That's why people stop uploading without even realizing why. The truth is, the YouTube algorithm is not your enemy. Your brain's misunderstanding of effort and reward is. The algorithm is built on one thing: viewer behavior. If people click, stay, and engage, the video spreads. If they don't, it stops. So growth is not about pleasing YouTube. It's about understanding human attention. Attention is limited. The brain decides within seconds whether something is worth energy. That's why hooks matter. Not because they are tricks, but because the brain is wired to filter information aggressively. If a video does not signal value quickly, the brain moves on. Most creators don't lose viewers because their content is bad. They lose them because the value is unclear early. Another psychological mistake is focusing on virality instead of trust. Viral videos give dopamine spikes, but trust gives long-term growth. The brain remembers creators who consistently deliver value. Repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity builds safety. That's why consistency beats talent. In neuroscience, repeated exposure strengthens neural pathways. In content creation, repeated value builds loyalty. Many channels fail because creators stop before trust has time to form. Trust is slow, virality is fast, and the brain prefers shortcuts, even when they don't work. There is also the problem of identity conflict. People start YouTube as a side activity, not as a serious role. Their brain doesn't register it as important, so when life gets busy, YouTube is the first thing to be dropped. The brain prioritizes identities that feel real and socially reinforced. Creators who grow start seeing themselves as creators, not people who try YouTube. Another psychological barrier is fear of judgment. Even without comments, creators imagine criticism. This is called imagined social evaluation. The brain prepares for threat even when it doesn't exist. So people over-edit, overthink, delay uploads, or never post at all. Ironically, perfectionism kills growth faster than bad content. The brain learns through feedback, not perfection. No feedback means no adaptation. No adaptation means no growth. Creators who succeed are not immune to doubt. They just act despite it. One of the most misunderstood aspects of YouTube growth is time perception. Humans are bad at long-term thinking. We overestimate what we can achieve in weeks and underestimate what we can build in years. YouTube rewards long-term thinkers, but the brain wants fast results. That mismatch creates frustration. Channels that grow understand something simple. Every video is data, not a judgment. When creators emotionally detach from numbers and focus on improvement, growth becomes inevitable. The brain shifts from threat mode to learning mode, and learning mode is where progress happens. Most channels never grow because creators quit during the boring phase, the phase where effort is high and reward is invisible. Psychology calls this the delayed discounting problem. Humans devalue rewards that are far away, so long-term success feels less motivating than short-term comfort. Scrolling feels better than creating. Quitting feels safer than continuing. But the few who push through this phase don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They create even when views are low. They learn even when feedback is silent. They improve even when growth is slow. And eventually, the algorithm responds, not because it favors them, but because human behavior does. The final truth is this: YouTube does not reward effort. It rewards understood effort. Effort aligned with psychology. Effort aligned with attention. Effort aligned with consistency. That's why 99% of channels never grow. Not because they lack potential, but because they quit before their brain adapts to the game. Growth is not an event. It's a psychological transformation. And once that shift happens, numbers follow.